Nature tells wild stories of creatures that should be gone but aren't. You catch a shadow, a quick movement, or a sound that feels off. Science explains many things, but not all, and somewhere in remote forests, deep oceans, and forgotten valleys, these beings might still exist. 5 animals are declared extinct, yet many swear they've seen them. Tonight, we dive into the hidden world of these elusive survivors. Sit back, breathe slowly, and for a moment, forget everything you think you know about the natural world. Imagine what it would mean if these creatures still roamed unseen. What are their calls in the darkness? Which paths do they tread? And what secrets might they carry, just out of reach, hidden from human eyes? 1. Megalodon. Some say it is a legend. Others insist it still swims the depths. Megalodon, the largest shark that ever lived. Over 18 meters long, teeth the size of a human hand. A predator that hunted whales with terrifying efficiency. It supposedly vanished 3.6 million years ago. Yet the ocean's depths obey different rules. We have explored less than 5% of it. The rest is darkness, home to mysteries we cannot yet comprehend. In 1960, Japanese fishermen reported sonar echoes of unimaginable size. Nothing known could produce such signals. In 1976, the discovery of the megamouth shark proved that massive, unknown species could survive unseen. Reports persist. Gigantic shadows under ships, bite marks on whales too large for any known shark. Divers glimpsing creatures far larger than anything catalogued. Proof is scarce, but the countless accounts make denial difficult. Perhaps Megalodon still glides silently in the black abyss, a remnant of a primeval world, avoiding human contact. Imagine massive fins cutting the surface of the ocean, a shadow moving through the deep, and only the smallest ripple hinting at its presence. What would it feel like to encounter such a creature, sensing its immense body nearby, the water alive with its quiet, terrifying power? 2. The Tasmanian tiger. Australia is a land of mysteries, filled with creatures found nowhere else on Earth. Deep in the mists of Tasmania, one of them may still roam. The Tasmanian tiger, or Thylacinus cynocephalus, was not a tiger. It was a marsupial predator, striped across its back, with strong jaws and a gaze so calm it seemed almost human. In 1936, the last known specimen died in the Hobart Zoo. The species was declared extinct. Yet stories persist. Farmers describe seeing a striped, dog-like animal at dusk, moving with a stiff, unnatural gait. Trackers have found footprints that match nothing known. Drivers report strange creatures crossing roads, disappearing in an instant. On summer nights, its eerie howl is said to echo across empty valleys, a haunting sound that lingers in memory. Over 4,000 sightings have been recorded since the 1930s. Too many to dismiss as mistakes. Back in 2017, the Queensland government reported some fresh tracks. Researchers even looked at fur, but the DNA results were a bit fuzzy. Perhaps it still survives, hiding in the bush, avoiding human eyes. A creature watching from the shadows, patient, quiet, and aware. Perhaps it knows every hidden path, every hollow, every tree. Imagine it moving silently through dense brush, its breath barely audible, only the rustle of leaves betraying its presence. Perhaps it waits, unseen, a ghost of the wilderness that refuses to disappear. 3. The elephant bird. Madagascar, a land that feels frozen in time. Here, the elephant bird, Epiornis maximus, once roamed, towering up to 3 meters, weighing over 400 kilograms. It laid eggs so enormous, a single one held the contents of 150 chicken eggs. Humans were thought to have driven it to extinction 1,000 years ago, yet some accounts suggest it survived much longer. 17th century French travelers described immense, flightless birds in the western forests. Locals spoke of a creature that shunned sunlight, appearing only in the deepest shadows. Even today, stories whisper of a spectral giant wandering hidden valleys. In 2018, scientists found DNA fragments far younger than expected, suggesting the species may have survived into the 1600s Could one of these giants still exist in remote swamps and forests few humans dare enter? Imagine it moving silently through dense undergrowth, shaking the earth with each step, its presence marked only by a low, resonant call that rolls through the mist. A living remnant of a world that has almost vanished. Perhaps the forest itself shields it from our sight, preserving one last marvel of the ancient world. 4. Cryptid serpent. Japan is a land of myth, and within its legends slithers the cryptid serpent. Descriptions vary. A short, stout snake with a thick body, sometimes with small limbs. Some say it is a relic from the age of dinosaurs. Others, a creature of folklore, elusive and cunning. Accounts stretch back centuries. Ancient scrolls tell of snakes that could leap, emit a whistling call, or even speak in strange tones. In modern times, farmers report wide-bodied snakes crossing paths, moving unlike any known species. In 2008, an obscure video captured a shadowy form slithering across rocks, moving deliberately, before disappearing into the water. The Japanese government even offered a reward of 80,000 euros for one captured alive. It remains unclaimed to this day. Could it truly survive, hiding in remote streams and forests? Imagine it moving silently through tall grass, barely visible, its presence betrayed only by a faint rustle. Perhaps it waits, unseen, a living riddle from a world we cannot fully understand. A ghost of Japan's untamed wilds. 5. Woolly mammoth. The image is familiar. Massive, fur-covered beasts, sweeping tusks, bodies trudging through snow and ice. Woolly mammoths, symbols of the Ice Age, yet perhaps never fully gone. Science says the last ones died around 4,000 years ago. But that was long after the pyramids were built. And then there are the reports. Russian pilots in the 1940s saw enormous, shaggy creatures roaming the tundra. Hunters speak of fresh tracks in the snow, footprints far too large for modern elephants. In 2012, well-preserved tissue from permafrost suggested they had survived far longer than expected. We know some survived on Wrangel Island until 1650 BC. Could a few still exist in remote Siberian valleys, hidden from humanity? Imagine a massive mammoth moving silently through fresh snow, its breath visible in the icy air, a living remnant of a lost era. Each step a reminder of a time when the earth was wilder and far more mysterious. Perhaps the tundra hides them still, ancient giants moving through a frozen, forgotten world. Perhaps the greatest secret of the natural world is not what has disappeared, but what remains hidden. Creatures don't always vanish. Sometimes they retreat, and we simply cannot reach them. And so the question lingers: how many are still out there, watching us from the shadows? Patient, silent, unseen. If these stories fascinate you, consider subscribing. Leave a like, and keep your eyes open. Because one thing is certain: the world is older, deeper, and far more mysterious than we can ever truly understand.